Okay, so you want to listen to music from your phone, and you want more than this. And you want more than this. Maybe possibly in your wildest fantasies, you want this. The Q-Style, Questyle, K-Style, M18i mobile headphone amplifier with DAC. Let's unbox it. Okay, I know, I'm a bit late to this party. That's because the postman took the package with him on a round-the-world vacation before dropping it on my doorstep. And then he forgot to deliver this. So I had to have it rushed from China. I suspect that the postie had a bit of a play because the screen was already fingerprinted and the manual and warranty card creased. Oh well. But I'm here now. The Questyle M18i is here now, and so is the adapter I need to use it with my old-fashioned iPhone 11 Pro Max. I say this because if you're an iPhone guy or girl, you don't need an iPhone with the latest USB-C. The lightning cable, though, is an extra cost. So, as I said at the start, you want more. You want better than you can get for cheap. You want the best connection between your phone and your headphones that you can get. This is what the Questyle M18i aspires to give you. Here's a scenario, therefore. You have a phone and you have wired headphones. And of course you want to listen to audio, streaming, radio, stuff you've downloaded, and you want to enjoy it. So you decide to Bluetooth from your phone to the M18i and then go by wire to your wired headphones. This is good. It'll work. Your phone is sending ones and zeros to its Bluetooth module, then radiating the signal into the air where the M18i picks it up. The M18i de-Bluetooths it, digital to analog converts it, and hey, you hear it. What should concern you, though, is whether you can hear the ones and zeros literally bit for bit, or whether they've been messed about with. Lossless versus lossy, of course. Now, this is where it gets confusing. Buckle up. The M18i is, of course, compatible with Bluetooth 5.4 and offers an impressive array of codecs: AAC, SBC, aptX, aptX HD, aptX Adaptive, LDAC, LE Audio. Sticking to what you need to know, only one of these is capable of lossless audio, and even then, not always. aptX Adaptive. If it's the 2018 version, no, not lossless. The 2021 version, yay, lossless. Of course, your phone will need to support it, and from my close examination of Questyle's technical information, the M18i does. But, and here's the but, it's only lossless if the conditions are right, which would be in a clean RF environment. Inside a Faraday cage would be clean, next to a military radar installation would not. I suspect you'll be doing your listening somewhere in between these extremes. So whether or not you get fully lossless audio, or whether the adaptive part of aptX Adaptive kicks in, will probably be a random guess. Anyway, if your phone is up to it, you should get as close to lossless Bluetooth audio as it's possible to get. Oh, iPhone users, forget it. It's lossy AAC for you, at best. Until maybe the iPhone 17, I don't know. Ask Tim. I'm not going to speak for other potential users of the M18i, but I can't personally see any advantage in using Bluetooth. Other than my phone is free to fiddle about with and doom scroll while I listen, no wire attached. No harm, no foul. Bluetooth is there for those who want it. Commenters, if you would use a gadget like this with Bluetooth rather than a wired data connection, tell me the good reasons why. Now, this is where things change. So yes, I can use this tiny Apple adapter with my phone and get a wired connection to my headphones. And I'm sure Android users have something similar. I'm going to say that for the £9 I paid, I'm getting very good value. For my hearing, at my age, I probably don't need anything better. Maybe you don't need anything better either. But there is such a thing as the avoidance of doubt. Is it really possible that this tiny adapter can give me full frequency range, near zero distortion and near zero noise? And can it really, really, drive my headphones properly? No sweating when I'm playing my favourite tracks from Death Magnetic, volume normalisation off. Has it got the damping factor to make my headphones diaphragms stop when the signal says stop? Avoidance of doubt. This is why I think many potential purchasers will consider the M18i. And I think that with a wired connection, you'll be getting the best of that. I've read all the technical stuff that's beyond most people's understanding, and mine, in the marketing materials and manual. And I'm going to accept that everything that's sold as a bonus feature is true, whether I understand it or not. But what is true, or at least is likely to be so, is that a device that runs from its own battery, rather than depending on the phone for power, is likely to have a more capable and more powerful headphone amplifier inside. I see no reason to doubt that. So I have to say that anyone who wants to get the best audio from their phone will want to have a device like this and run it with a wired connection. To me, this is what makes sense. So what do we have in the way of features? Not too many of them, I hope, and not too many different combinations of button presses. Well, hey, there aren't too many features. And I think I could get my head around the button press combinations and, what's important, remember them. Why don't I want too many features? I want to listen to music, that's all. And I, for one, like flat. So if there's no EQ, which there isn't, I do not mind in the slightest. And I'm immensely happy that the mode selection between Bluetooth, phone and computer is on a physical switch, not a multiple button press. The other buttons are wonderfully few in number, but let me run through them all. Mode selector, Bluetooth, computer, phone. Gain/MFB, I'll come back to that. Volume down, volume up, on, off. That's it. Now, gain/MFB. This is where you'll have to activate the memory cells of your brain, but not too much. Suppose you're in phone or PC mode, PG mode being a typo in the manual. That confused me for a minute. You have a gain switch, so you have a fixed amount of gain if you need it for less sensitive headphones. I've no quibble with that, but I didn't need it. If you're in Bluetooth mode, though, you now have an MFB, a multi-function button. Press it once to pause or restart, twice to skip to the next track. You'll need that if you're listening to my album of irritating unboxing music, available on Spotify and all good streaming services. Since I'll be listening to music, I'll skip the bit where the MFB helps you make phone calls. Who makes phone calls these days anyway? But it's there to help if you need it. I know I'm being boring, but everything's a DAC these days, or has one. If it were up to me, I'd call the M18i a headphone amplifier. But hey, it's a headphone amplifier with DAC, and that's official. So yes, you can use it as a DAC from your audio source, which in my case would be my computer. I'd just be taking things easy in the slow lane with 16 or 24-bit resolution, 44.1 or 48k sampling rate. But those who use their hi-fi as an alternative to having a Ferrari on their driveway will be happy to accelerate up to as fast as 384 kHz. 192 is as high as I've tested, but I don't think I'd have any doubts about 384. As for 32-bit float, I bounced a file from my digital audio workstation software at 192.32, and it played just fine. DSD? I've nothing against it, but it isn't practical for my workflow, so I haven't tested it. The M18i maxes out at DSD 256, which I'm guessing should be enough. There are higher DSDs, and I'm sure commenters who use them will tell us all about the benefits they enjoy. OK, I'm going into quibble mode now. I do have a few, but they're more along the lines of nitpicks rather than anything that'll affect your audio enjoyment. Firstly, the manual. Some manufacturers from the land of the giant panda produce excellent manuals with features, operations, specifications and charts. OK, often with the print too small, but otherwise excellent. Teeny tiny print in grey on black does not work for me, and I see absolutely no reason why I shouldn't quibble, seeing that many potential purchasers will be among or approaching a similar age to me, with eyes that just don't focus. As a benchmark, I needed my +3 readers and my filming light on to read the manual comfortably, and yes, I have had my eyes tested. Secondly, the manual. No specification. A proper manual absolutely needs to include the specification. Charts would be nice too. The display related to my comments on the manual. OK, I can read it with my normal reading glasses, and I've definitely seen worse in this respect. But it could be bigger. And I've noticed that the actual display area is smaller than the cutout in the case. So it's less than you might expect. Having said that, the simplicity of operation means that you probably don't need to check the display too closely. Other than that, it's crisp, clear, and probably bright enough unless you're listening while sunbathing. Power. Now, this is an odd kind of quibble. I'm just going to give you a flavour. There are 2 USB-C sockets. One is for power, one isn't. Oh, one can sometimes accept power and sometimes not. Oh, and if you, but why would you, connect your phone while you're in PC mode, it'll drain the phone's battery. I'm getting this from the manual. Or at least I'm trying to get it. It's complicated. I've had a few headphone amplifiers over my desk, and it's been simpler than this. I'm sure you can find subjective comments among other reviews, and you may trust them or not as you choose. Normally, I look at the published specifications of equipment, and normally they're beyond the range of human hearing anyway, and certainly beyond mine. I couldn't find any specs or charts on Questyle's website, which is an omission that could do with correcting. But Questyle was good enough to send me a PDF with most of what I, and you, need to know. To pick out a couple of points, the frequency response is 20 Hz to 20 kHz, plus or minus 0.1 dB, with useful output up to 80 kHz, if your source has anything up there. Total harmonic distortion plus noise, 0.0002%. You can't hear it. So, audio perfection then. Well, I would have liked more information on power output and output impedance. All I see is 28 milliwatts into 300 ohms on the balanced headphone output. What about lower impedance headphones? What about the unbalanced output? Clearly, these are important matters and more information should be provided. Anyway, much as I love charts and specifications, what concerns me is that when I listen to music, I enjoy it. When I listen to music that I've created myself, it should sound the way I made it. And I want to be able to listen at an exciting level with no audible distortion and definitely no breakup. Well, I've had a jolly good listen on my 32 ohm headphones and I'm happy with the volume, with plenty more above and beyond my needs. I'm not going to use it because I'm too sensible for that. But as always, I like there to be more available than I'm going to use. Of anything, particularly Chinese takeaway. It'll warm up nicely tomorrow. As for the other specs, all sounds good to me. For the Questyle M18i itself, all is fine. It sounds good, it's easy to use, and I'd find no reason not to use it. I needed a lightning cable, which is a paid-for extra, but hey, it costs a lot less than a new iPhone. The case, which is also a cost option, is nice and convenient with its belt clip. The manual could be better both in ease of use and content, but you'll find your way around the M18i soon enough. And, other than maybe the powering options, the M18i is so straightforward you'll probably never need to consult the manual again. Of course, you're going to check out all of the available information and consult other reviews before you buy. I'll just leave it that this is a nice little unit, gives me nice audio, it's easy to use, and it's a bit of a why not. As always, this unit was sent to me, but other than that and any affiliate links, there's no payment or influence involved. So I can say what I like, and I've said it. See you soon.